The farmers, you guys know, it's Foe, Mr. Mammal, Roydy, and MMO, RPG, RS, and his wife, I believe. Curtis, some people know him by. Their group iron team, the Farmers, has a fang. You see it right there in the top? Check it out. See what happens, alright? Have a look at this. Turn it up. It's as loud as I can get it. Fang. Inventory. Group storage. Notice how it is just constantly saving. Pause, bitch. Constantly saving, nothing happening. I've never had this happen on my group iron team, which is good. We've had the team since day one. We've got the top 5-man prestige team in the game, and thankfully we haven't had this problem yet, because I'd hate to lose our T-bow and our Scythes and shit with that. But yes, still saving. Yeah, and there you go. No storage. So he left his inventory. It didn't save. So the Fang is just kaput. Gone. That's it. Now the thing is, obviously the controversy about this is if it wasn't Foe, if it wasn't a streamer, if it wasn't clipped right now, you've lost that Fang forever, right? If it was a T-bow, if it happened to me off stream with a T-bow, I'm not getting that back, right? So since then, it looks like there's been an update here. Update. The Farmers are getting the Fang back. That Foe has listed here. We'll see what Foe said, then we'll read the Reddit post here. So it looks like that Jagex's ability to identify these issues has improved. Our Fang was flagged by their system, and that plus the video evidence made it easy to identify. It also flagged other players at the same time, and they're working to resolve those issues. So it looks like Jagex is able to actually tell if you're getting fucked by the bank. Item deletion, like this occurs to prevent item duplication. It essentially takes priority to keep things from being abused when the clan server can't properly update. To be honest, that does kind of make sense, because I think it's better to delete items than to dupe items, of course. Streamer favoritism or not, this is, in my opinion, the right answer. I agree. Any group should have items returned for this glitch if they can identify it. I'm glad they're working on ways to better identify when this happens. I think that makes sense. I don't think there's... I mean, I don't know the engine side of things, but from a viewer standpoint, that is probably the smartest way for Jagex to go about it. You'd rather delete the item than dupe it. If there's a way they can tell it was deleted, they can obviously go back and return the item. It's not like the game mode has been out long. Yeah, well, that's the thing, you know. Why did it happen? I don't know. Why are so many people trying to get into storage at one time? Have you been on a group iron team that's active? The amount of times I've had to yell at the boys to get the fuck out of the group bank. Dude, don't get... It's... Yeah, people are always trying to get in the group storage. First to get their hands on the T-bow. When you have Will on your team, you got to get the T-bow before Will logs back in and grabs it, right? The Shadow's suddenly gone missing. Yeah, it'd be good if we get our Shadow back, so I don't have to keep running TOAs to get the Shadow back. That'd be awesome, Jagex, if you don't mind returning the Shadow to the team Fist of Cum. Look for us. We're the rank 1 team in Prestige Group Ironman, 5-man. Thank you. Happens even in a 2-man team. Yeah, absolutely. Everyone's trying to get into the group bank at once. So seeing that happen, obviously that clip, I was like, I don't want to go on the group iron team, but it looks like we've got some resolution here that we've got. I'll try to read if I can zoom in. Okay, zooming doesn't work, but I'll read it out. You can just trust me. Excuse my terrible reading. From Mod Kieran, the man himself, one of the OGs, the MVPs. Hey, I wanted to give you a rundown of where we're at with group Ironman storage issues. Firstly, we're returning the Fang to Foe's group. We realize this looks like streamer favoritism, would absolutely be lying if we didn't say an issue. This public has drawn additional focus to the problem, which is why we have been doing, why we have to do better going forward. If anyone thinks this is streamer favoritism, you're just delusional. Those are the sort of people that just look for any problem in any situation, woe is me sort of energy, right? Like because he's a streamer, it was able to be documented and returned. That's the benefit. That's the blessing and the curse, right? So it's not really streamer favoritism. It's just bang out what should happen. If you haven't had it returned in the past, that's just unlucky. You don't have the clip. You don't have the footage. That's the position that you're in. Bad luck, you know. That's just how it is. It's not favoritism at all. I think it's like it would be wrong if Jagex didn't return it, to be honest. Those stream clips can really help with investigations in the meantime. That said, we know the pain felt in losing such a valuable item is the same no matter who you are, whether you have recorded clips or not, so that cannot be what we depend on. That can't be what they depend on, which makes sense. They can't just rely on clips. We realize we have to do better, and we apologize to those who lost items as a result of this bug since Group Ironman released. I didn't even know it was happening and still going on, to be honest. I thought it was a slight bug that was fixed, so that's kind of creepy that it's still going, and I'm thankful that we haven't had that problem yet. Video/streamer exposure helps out everyone. Yeah, well, bringing awareness to it for sure. It stopped me wanting to, I mean, I still went on the game, but it stopped me wanting to go on it at least, and it brought this to my attention and my GIM's attention, which is good. I wish Jagex introduced a better item sync to the game. Too many fangs in the game right now. Yeah, well, if they did it more subtly, it probably would have been better. Maybe Foe's team's fang wasn't the smartest choice if they wanted to sync fangs. So why does this happen? As many have discussed in the thread, this is to do with the fact that clan server, the fact the clan server, which is where Group Ironman data is held, is distinct from the game server. It is non-trivial to avoid any possible issues here if for some reason the game server or clan server falls over. It is difficult to avoid both item loss and item duplication, and currently can we get to the actual Reddit post if we can just skip over this? That'll be smarter. How do I go to Reddit? Right there. Okay, so we do have some awareness of this, of when this issue occurs. We attempt to detect this and have errors come through on our system. So they know, they have a rough idea of when this happens, right? You start recording your games. Yeah, there's nothing wrong with recording your game sessions. I recommend recording it if you have the chance and you have the time and the space on your system, even if you just have it loop over. It's not a bad shout. Then you just, what you can do instead of recording, actually, sorry to interrupt halfway through, if you get like OBS or Streamlabs OBS, you could set up a replay buffer of like, say, 3 minutes if you wanted, anywhere between, I think like 5 seconds and 5 minutes. And then you just you start the replay buffer, and it will record in the background, but it won't save. And when you press save, it'll save the last 5 minutes of your footage or something, kind of like a shadow play. That way you don't stock up your computer, and that way you just keep your clips, basically. Yeah, that's the best way to go about it, I'd imagine, so you don't overload, not fill your hard drive up. We saw this with Foe's issue, and together with the stream evidence, it was very easy to confirm what happened. We also see it wasn't just Foe who had an issue at around the same time last night. So it looks like it's a game-wide thing, not just happening because Foe's team did something wrong. It's like the system itself was a problem, which is thankful. We also see it wasn't just Foe. Yeah, sorry, we read that. We have the RSNs from this and are looking at a manual review to identify any items that may have been lost as a result. We'll also return items if possible there too. We will contact those players through the messaging center when we have more information. This will take at least a few days. So if it did happen to you, maybe just keep an eye on the message center and try not to be too worried. Maybe just see what Jagex does first, and I guess give any information to them as you can, I would say. That'd only be a thing, but there have been plenty of people who post their videos on Twitter that don't have viewership, and it gets ignored so fast it's not funny. Yeah, I mean, that's the other thing, right? If you don't have the viewer base or the attention, it's hard to get traction. Reddit's probably a better place to post your videos. What does return items if possible mean? If it's possible for first team, how isn't it for anyone else? I don't know, to be honest. Like, you could say that you lost a T-bow, but if they can't prove it on their end, if you have a clip of you losing the T-bow, but on their end it doesn't say you lost one at all, they're probably not going to return it to you, especially if they could try to see, like, you could fake the clip or something. I don't know. So I think it depends, really. Like, you can't say we're guaranteed we're going to return it just in case you can't, and then people will say, but you said you guaranteed it. So if they say it's possible, that gives them plausible deniability to deny it if they have to, right? Rather than saying, yeah, we can return it, no worries. Then you're going to sit there and be like, but you said you're going to. So if it's possible, then there's a chance you can't, and that way you shouldn't be fucking shocked if it doesn't happen. There's no support email you can send files. There is a Jagex support. Yeah, I've used Jagex support in the past. I've had nothing but success with them. Anyone trying to trade me a T-bow by mistake? No. Glad they're actually trying to do something about this. Seems like there's a good bit of issues in game they're ignoring and don't have time for. Like what? Botting? What can we do going forwards? This is hard for me to outline the exact solution here immediately, as we need to investigate more deeply and assess what options may look like. Some initial thoughts is we can improve the error detection and automatically log what the transaction with GIM storage was that failed. So that way they'll be able to track the items better. With the above, is it feasible to manually process item returns? I don't even know what that means. Yes, I guess so. Ideally, can we better mitigate the problem in the first place with a better handshake process? That means they'll probably have to have a separate system from the clan system, I'd imagine. If any of these are possible, how long would the work actually take to implement? Yeah, that might take a fair bit if they're gonna have to like introduce a whole new clan system or something. They said on the Twitch stream they have banned 2.4 million bots this year, so they're trying. That's insane. It's probably accurate, to be honest. Bot farms pop up faster than they get kicked out of the game. Only way to fix that is not buying gold. What, bot farms? I doubt it. I don't know the answer to these questions currently, so what I can commit is currently is the team will do that assessment and will hopefully have more information soon. We will say that the overwhelming majority of uses of GIM storage go through without a hitch. They do, that's true. For what it is worth, I personally have played GIM since release and will continue using the storage, though we recognize it has harmed confidence in the system. Lastly, I know the time commitment in-game takes especially on a GIM, and how long it could take to feasibly obtain certain items. Imbued hearts, twisted bows, fangs. It's devastating to lose something, and doubly so when it's clearly not your fault. Sorry, that didn't even make sense to me, but I'm autistic. While we most certainly cannot fix all past cases, this is a start for doing better going forward. Yeah, I don't know if they can actually fix problems that have happened, 6, 12, 18 months ago, unfortunately. But, having that clip, having it happen live is honestly a fat dub for the farmers, and hopefully there is a better system for this going forward, because it's not fixed, right? It can still happen. So I think you just need to be cautious, especially if you're group iron and you are playing. Don't be afraid to have shadow play running, because the last thing you want to do is run into a bug. It looks like it was a system, a fault with the clan system, and not like too many people trying to access the storage at the same time that faulted it out. It looks like maybe the clan system itself just failed, considering it was a game-wide fault. But, like, it's really just bad timing as well. Like, as a programmer, sometimes these things happen when you have millions of transactions going between servers a day. You just can't account for every possible error, of course. So the best way they can try to do it is try to just log it as much as they can. So it detects errors for them, right? They can see when errors happen, so that's a big plus. Yeah, like if that happened off stream for someone like me, like I doubt I'd be getting that item back. We'd be at Falador with the cannons for sure. If I lost the T-bow, if our team lost items like that, yeah, I'd be quitting until they fix it for sure. I wouldn't be going back to it. But then you got some classic memes here. You can't get no, you can't just get your unfairly deleted items back. Streamer favoritism, but that's Reddit for you. I'm glad this happened to a streamer since it brings more attention to the issue. That's exactly what we were talking about. We're the Chads. We're not the Redditors, all right? 100%. I don't think anyone on Reddit is mad at this though, right? They shouldn't be. So it's live and generally nobody could believe what we all just witnessed, of course. Honestly insane how this bug hasn't been fixed. To think the items that could take hundreds of hours could just disappear like that. Yeah, it's disgusting. I don't really care about the continued thread anymore. Like, are there any comments worth reading? My duo just got twisted bow. Now I'm a little afraid for us to be passing it back and forth. I recommend trading if you can, if you're both online, instead of using the storage for things like twisted bow. Can't access osrs Reddit, banned, bad luck. That's on a hardcore game team, by the way, for those who are not aware. So yeah, losing a Fang on a team like that is not good. Not good at all. But good news, at the end of it, they managed to pull off the dupe, and now they have 2 Fangs. They duped it. So Jagex gave it back, and then they pulled it out of their ass. So Jagex fucked up. They can't delete items once they're in the game. Roydy, this is the same account. So big dubs to the farmers. They pulled off the dupe. Jagex got fucking played. Better luck next time. Wonder how many cases there actually are. Yeah, I know, right? You'd think it would be a bit more of a known issue if it was happening to people often. Yeah, that's the thing. I would say it's probably just whenever the clan system has a problem. It could be due to other players fucking around with the clan system, because I know people use the clan system to dupe items and dupe gold, especially around update time. I don't know if that's got anything to do with it, but like we use the group storage system a lot, and thank fucking God we haven't had that problem on our team, because yeah, it would not be fun. They have item IDs, so why can't they help others? It probably isn't that easy to track it. And then what if it's an error on their end and they haven't actually lost an item? Who knows? I don't know. They could delete that Fang and still have crazy RNG. Of course. Of course. But yeah, just thought I'd talk about it, share it. It's a positive update from Jagex. This post by Mod Kieran is a fat W, to be honest. It's not fixed. It's crazy that it's not fixed, of course. It's been 2 years now. But I think unfortunately, it took a clip like this to bring the attention to it that it needs, I think, because I think this should be one of the bigger priorities for Jagex at this point. And if it keeps happening more consistently, we're going to have a bigger problem on our hands, and they're going to have a lot more angry players, right? So I think that's definitely something that Jagex should look at. This post is good. It means they're paying attention, and they got the fang back too. So that's worth it. That's good. This is the easiest room in the raid. It's quite simple. You got a big boy. Look at him. God damn. Fuck me. Look at that boy. It's huge. You got a big boy.